Welcome back to the beer, times 16.
Right, a massive thank you to Warren at Big Boys DIY for doing that little intro at the beginning. Right, this particular... Oh, what do you think? Do you like it? This was sent to me by a friend up north somewhere, north east, somewhere like that. Anyway, and he has got a wicked channel called Abandoned City Camo Crew. Him and a few other guys, and he sent me this. So looks like I'm part of the crew. Anyway, he has mobility issues. So I thought, what can I do? I mean, he's obviously exploring places and things like that. Check him out. I'll leave links below for his channel. But he goes off and he looks at abandoned buildings, churches, things like that. So he's really interested. So do you remember way back I made a walking stick for the wife? It was like a barley twist with a pool ball on top. Well, here it is. Now it turns out my wife's wrists aren't that great. She couldn't use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upcycle it, recycle it, upcycle it. I'm going to remove this because it's quite girly. I'm going to possibly burn this a little bit, make it a little bit more manly, stain it maybe. And I cast this a couple of days ago. Now he's into his sculls, so what I'm thinking is get rid of this and mount the skull on there. What do you think? I've actually spoke to him already and he loves it. He loves skulls, so he's really happy. And what I should have filmed this, to be honest, and I can always film another one if anyone wants to see it. But this is actually a mixture of translucent black resin, purple and green. I don't know if you can see that. But if it shows up on camera, it will at the end when I put some stills up. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this. It's going to be quite a short video, so I'm going to get rid of this, pop that on there, and make it a little bit more manly for him. Right. Right, so there he is. He's come out quite nice actually. So this is like a translucent black. If you hold the light up to it, you'll see through it. And then the pearlescent green and purple. It's kind of all blended in nicely. You can actually see the veins in his head as well, which is cool. My wife has a wheelchair, and she wanted some sculls on the brakes. So what she did, she went and bought a skull, a resin skull, and then she went and bought the silicone and actually made this mould herself. It's pretty impressive, to be honest. I mean, you just pour your silicone in there. I mean, it did take a while for it to keep painting it on and building up these layers, but it can be done. And it's producing these lovely little skulls. I have put a couple on the wheelchair, on the brakes. It looks good. Anyway, enough of me going on. Right, so I've mounted the I'm not sure what it's called. It's like it's this thing here. You see me doing it on video. You drill a hole, and then this kind of screws in, you epoxy it in, which gives you somewhere to thread into. Okay, so next step for me is to drill a hole in the bottom of his what's this bit called here? You know, where his spine comes out of his brain. That's you know, that sort of thing. So I've got to drill a hole now and epoxy that into at least 5mm into the bottom. I really want this to hold on tight. If he ever does want to take it off, he can just unscrew it then, you know. Right, let's get on to drilling a hole. Right, so I thought to myself, right, which I have been known to once in a while, usually gets me in trouble, but I thought, what's the best way to hold this skull while I'm doing this stuff? Well, it was quite obvious. Put it back in its mould. I know, ingenious, isn't it? Right, anyway, so what I'm doing now is I've just drilled the hole. I didn't record it because you've seen me drill loads of holes in stuff. Anyway, so the idea is now to wax some 2-part epoxy. It's only the 5-minute stuff onto this threaded bolt, like so. And then, you know what, I'm going to put a load in there as well. So I'm hoping it squishes all out the sides. If I can get it off, that is. Right. Come on, donkey. Sort yourself out. That's it. We kind of want to bury this this bolt in there, or nut, whatever. What is it? A nut? That's a bolt, isn't it? Yeah. We kind of want to bury it in there, don't we? So it doesn't come out. Right. Come on. But we don't want to get any on the thread at all, really. Or avoid it at all costs. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to twist it in there, making sure that it is central. Okay, that looks about right. Can have a look. For those of you that is interested. Okay, right, let's let that go off. What what I've done here is just very gently mounted the whole stick into the lathe. It's just so so I can sand it down and get well, I can just sand it down and kind of concentrate on getting a nice even spread of this stain across it. Oh, perhaps I should get Thomas to help me open it. What do? Squeeze in there. Oh, there we go. There we go. Got it. I always close my eyes when I open containers like this, because you never know, do you? Oh, it's quite thick. Look at that. It's quite thick. I thought it was going to be nice and runny. Now this isn't the stain that I was expecting it to be. Years ago I bought I can't remember who it was now. It was in a container like this and it was really thin and it just soaked right into the wood. This is more of a this is quite thick actually. Look at that. Not bad, eh? I usually make a right mess. You know what? So I thought when I've just put that coat of this stuff on, and I thought, I wonder what'll happen if I spray a bit of green acrylic spray on. And I tell you what, it's had this fascinating effect. I love it. I'm going to spray just a couple more little colours on there now and see what happens. I'll go with like a splash of red, a spray of red, just here and there, and I'll do the same with the blue as well. There you go. Oh, I don't want to give this away. I'm going to keep it. Oh, I love it. Now that is awesome. Do you want a closer look? Right, hold on tight. Hold on tight. Look at the colours. Look at that. Is that just wicked or what? I think that's going to suit the Scull, isn't it? You turn it one way and it looks red, and then blue, and then mahogany type colour again. What do you think? Think he's going to like it? Ooh, I like it. I might actually do this to my own little walking stick. Right then, so what I'm using is this plastic coat clear sealer. Let's see if it's any good, shall we? Right, I'm just going to turn the lathe on. Right, that's the first coat done. this is basically it's a plastic sealer. So I've gone over about 4 or 5 times with this. I've also gone over the I've also gone over the Scull with it as well. See how it's now dull. So next step is, so this is clear super gloss sealer. It does give a really shiny coat. Right, should we do it then? It's stuck. You watch this. It does it on its own. Right then, let's let that go off. Let's see what happens. Shiny, shiny, shiny. I very nearly went through a whole video without doing a shout out, so I don't have to now, because someone sent me a sticker. It is the flaming wood turner. I'm going to stick it straight on. In fact, I went up with Tom Bennett Makes and my other son Jake to visit the flaming wood turner, and he gave me and Thomas a sticker each, and I gave him one of mine. Well, unfortunately, I lost both stickers. So I've asked to, I have had to ask him to send us some more. So let's stick him straight on before I lose it. Thanks very much, Flaming Wood Turner. This has turned out absolutely beautiful. I'm really happy with this. Right, let's crack it off there. Oh, put the rubber thingy bob on the end. I'm going to stick the Scull on top, and then we're going to call it done. Right, what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've screwed the Scull on. It's turned out quite nice, hasn't it? Hang on, let's give it a bit of a polish up. Shiny. So there was a slight gap between the Scull and the ferrule thing in here, inside there. So what I've done is I've put a washer of leather underneath there, and then between the two you can still unscrew it, look. Yeah, between the two I've just put a nice strip of leather. I don't know why, I just think it looks nice. But what do you think of those colours? Is it me, or are they just really cool? Maybe it's just me. It was literally a happy accident. Bit of a Bob Ross happy accident. But anyway, Kieran from the Abandoned City Camo crew, this is yours, mate, and I hope it helps you out. So there we have it. What do you think? Leave your comments below. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. Anyway, I'm happy with the way it turned out. I'm hoping that the new owner is going to enjoy him. Just can't get over that paintwork. It's just out of this world. Who knows, mixing two different weird, like a stain and acrylic paint, will have such an effect. Anyway, it's tight enough. So a massive thank you to Big Boys DIY for doing that little intro at the beginning. You may have noticed my main intro's changed a little bit. You'll see some faces that you might recognise in there. Head over, check out Tom Bennett Makes as well. That's my boy. Just help him grow a little bit. And if you're at Maker Central, come over and say hello. I'll be on the Gorilla stand on the Saturday. On the Sunday, I'll be doing other things, but I'll be there. And I think that's it. So bye bye.